Controversy at Rutgers University over alleged racism. Students have traded barbs online with Professor Brittney Cooper over past race-based statements. NTD's Daniel Monaghan spoke with a pair of Rutgers students who are asking for accountability.
Brittney Cooper is a professor of women's and gender studies and Africana studies. Comments she made during an interview about critical race theory with the Root Institute continued to make waves a few years after being shared by the New York Post and others.
I think that white people are committed to being villains in the aggregate.
Cooper discusses colonialism.
White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them, Black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other for centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism.
The professor was asked in the interview, what is the solution to a more equitable sharing of resources, since the nature of white people compels them to hoard power and goods?
The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these out. But I know, we can't say that, right? We can't say, I don't believe in a project of violence. I truly don't.
Rutgers University student Ava Kwan reacts to Cooper's comments about race in the video.
It's not professional to have a professor who so blatantly advocates for violence against white people. To so confidently say we need to take white people out is outrageous. It's a very vile statement to make, especially as a professor working with students of all different races and backgrounds. It's very disappointing to see.
Kwan says they still haven't seen a statement from Rutgers.
I'm not holding out much hope, but I do hope that we do see action from the federal government. I know that Rutgers is requesting up to $530 million in federal funding this year. And I think that now that we know that we have professors employed who are essentially advocating for white genocide.
Student Megan Doyle says it's very disappointing that Rutgers would employ someone with what she sees as such bias. Doyle recently had a heated discussion on social media with Cooper.
This professor refused to apologize for her actions and her statement on Instagram, and I decided to call her out on it like many others would do, especially when you're a Rutgers student. You expect your professors to maintain a professional stance and not a racist one. So when you have a professor like that, you have to really question whether this professor is capable of teaching without a bias towards white students.
Cooper responded to her clips again going viral online this month. She said she gave an interview in 2021 about the anger Black people feel at the persistence of racism. She said her remarks were misconstrued as an advocacy of violence. She said in reality she concluded in her interview that violence is not an answer. Rutgers issued a statement of support for Cooper back when the video first aired, saying she has been subjected to racist attacks for her public scholarship. The university expressed its, quote, unequivocal solidarity with Dr. Cooper and affirmed their support of what they called her academic freedom. Ava Kwan doesn't believe what she calls advocating for violence counts as free speech.
I think that when you're making a comment, stating that we need to take a certain group of people out, you are inciting violence, and it undermines the whole concept of free speech in itself. No one is going to feel safe enough to speak up in a classroom, let's say, if they think that their professor is going to do something or believes that they need to be taken out. That doesn't allow free speech. Those kind of comments don't allow free speech. It actually shuts down free speech.
Doyle feels that racism, if directed toward certain groups, gets a free pass in institutions of higher learning.
I fundamentally believe that white racism is generally dismissed, especially in higher academics like this one.
The two students say they have received backlash for speaking out against Cooper's comments, and also previously about a professor, Mark Bray, who wrote a best-selling book, Antifa, the Anti-Fascist Handbook. The students feel if they don't speak up, who will? Daniel Monaghan, NTD News.